Hey, what's up, guys? Alright, so it's June now, and June is the month of games. We all know E3 is long gone dead, and Jeff Keighley has taken over. Summer Games Fest should be coming out this week, I think this Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we're going to get a lot of game news this month, especially Sonic. You know, we got Sonic Frontiers DLC coming out, Sonic Origins Plus, both should be coming out around his birthday. And then, of course, Sonic's birthday, and Sonic Central. I know that hasn't been confirmed, but we gotta have a Sonic Central. I mean, that's been a tradition for the past 2 years now. Ever since Sega stopped doing the Sonic South by Southwest, which I'm glad, because Sonic Central is just so much better, you know, it's more professional. It feels like, you're watching a Nintendo Direct or Sony State of Play. And since Sega doesn't want to do a digital presentation like Nintendo and Sony, a Sonic Central will be more than enough. Because they also promote their other games too, you know, so long as Sonic is going to feature in it. So yeah, I got some stuff to talk about Sonic Central and the details that have been revealed or leaked. But before I do that, be sure to smash that like button, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's see if we can get to 100K subscribers this year. But alright, first, we all got fooled into thinking that Sonic Central would come out this Wednesday, June 7th. Like, that post looked so legit on Twitter, a lot of people were fooled. I was fooled for like a split second, and I was like, wait a minute, this is not the official account. And even Katie had to address it. You know, she says right here that there has not been a Sonic Central announcement, by the way. The official Sonic account has a gold badge, so be sure to look out for that when you see any potential news posts on here. Almost forgot, since Elon Musk changed the rules, you know, you got to pay like $8 now to get the blue verification badge. And if you want to get the gold badge, you got to pay like $1,000. That's crazy. Like $100 is one thing, but $1,000? I guess Sega can afford that for Sonic. So yeah, we don't know when Sonic Central is coming out, but it's definitely coming out this month. But it's not coming out this week. Now, about sharing tweets. Now, I'm not sure if I can share Twitter tweets on videos anymore from the regular folk, you know, unless if you're official or like a public figure like Katie. But you know, since Sonic fans complained about consent and it being a violation of their privacy, you know, even though they do the same thing to us Sonic tubers without our consent, you know, they post thumbnails of our videos on Twitter for clout. I'm pretty sure they're going to do that on this video I make too. You're going to see someone take a screenshot of it, post it, say some snarky thing about me, and get a lot of likes. You know, that's the easiest thing to do for clout. Pick on Sonic tubers. But that's besides the point. But yeah, that resulted into some kind of drama a couple weeks ago. It was crazy. Bo Blacks was involved in it. It's just, yeah, it's funny how Sonic fans continue moving the goalpost on what's acceptable. I mean, but I kind of had to agree with this dude. This Enigma dude says, first off, nigga, what the fuck does whatever any of these people said have anything to do with what I said? They could be calling me the next coming of Christ and I wouldn't care. If you want to reference me in a video, you get my permission first, especially with how this community acts. I agree with that, Enigma. I definitely agree with that. But alright, jokes aside, some Sonic Central details have been allegedly leaked. Now, this may be a rumor, and I'm not talking about Zippo, but I'm going to talk about all rumors. Whether it's a rumor or a leak, I love to discuss about on my channel because news is dry. So, we all know about what Zippo talked about, you know, about the 6 Sonic games that Sega's making somehow. Even though they could barely handle Sonic Frontiers, you know, the game managed to be decent and good by the skin of their teeth, but now all of a sudden they're working on 6 titles? But anyway, this post on 4chan I want to get to. Someone says here, alright Sonic fans, hear me out. My info of Sonic Central 2023. Now this sounds pretty believable. It's about 8 things that they're going to do in Sonic Central. Now the first is Sonic Prime Season 2. We all know Sonic Prime Season 2 is coming out next month. What do I think about it? Because I haven't really been talking about Sonic Prime. To be honest, now that, you know, the hype has died down and I've looked back on it, the 8 episodes were alright. The show was kind of mid overall, you know, like, I remember struggling to finish watching the first episode. I kept on falling asleep. I mean, it's not bad or anything, but it's not better than Sonic Boom. I'm hoping Season 2 can improve on Season 1 setbacks, you know, especially that it ended with Sonic and Shadow. Just when it started getting really interesting is when it ended. So I hope, like, you know, it can pick up steam and be more interesting. But besides, like, the Eggtropolis dystopian world, I don't know. I don't care much for the other worlds that Sonic visited, and it's just, I don't know. Especially when one of the guys said that Sonic Prime is canon with the games. That pissed off a lot of people. And I think he meant to say it was based on the game canon, but it's definitely not canon because Sonic acts a bit out of character. I digress. But yeah, so hopefully season 2 will be interesting. I will definitely be watching it in July. But I'll hold my full judgment on the show until all the seasons come out. Now, second is the Knuckles TV show. Now, I talked about this briefly a couple months ago in April. You know, they even have the new logo for Knuckles, the Knuckles show. And yeah, I was excited for it at first before the synopsis dropped. Knuckles teaming up with Wade, the policeman. And the thing is, I didn't even know who Wade was when I saw the name. I had to look him up. I'm like, oh, that guy? Like, he's such a nothing character. Like, I even forgot his name. But yeah, I was thinking like Knuckles would have vowed to, you know, protect the Master Emerald now. And now the government thinks that Sonic and his friends are no fit to be protecting something so powerful, you know, especially as aliens. So they hire Gun to spy on Knuckles. You know, they send like Rouge to spy on Knuckles, be like a double spy to get more information of the Master Emerald and all that. And then, you know, at first Knuckles is at odds with Rouge and all that, and then maybe the Chaotix can come into the picture because they're like those conspiracy theorists and they don't trust the government and they're trying to solve, you know, something like that. I think that will be a very cool type of plot instead of making it Knuckles and Wade. But I'll wait and see what the show is going to be about. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. That's not what I was hoping for the Knuckles show to go towards. And you know, a lot of people feel the same way too. All right, now the third thing is the Sonic the Hedgehog 5 or Sonic 5, the 2D modern Sonic game. Like, that's a no-brainer. Now, there is no confirmation, there is no guarantee that Sega's going to talk about this in Sonic Central, but I mean, come on, this game has been rumored. It has been discussed for the past 2 years. The cat's out of the bag. You know, Sega might as well just discuss this and when is it coming out, because I mean, I don't want to have to wait until next year, and Sega can't continue ignoring this. It's definitely a thing. And there's no point in delaying it. You might as well just release it this year because, I mean, I'm sure this game is not going to be better than Sonic Mania, you know, especially that is made in-house with Sonic Team. So just showcase what it is. I want to see what this game is going to be about. And I heard Amy might be playable. So I already know Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, but Amy might be playable. That makes sense since Amy's going to be playable in Sonic Origins Plus. I'm pretty sure they're going to push a lot of Amy this year, especially, you know, with Sonic Frontiers DLC, Amy being playable. Oh yeah, also guys, check out that Amy AI skit I made the other day. So it's all about Amy. All right, the next thing is Super Silver for Sonic Dash and Sonic Forces Speed Battle or something like that. You know, I don't follow these mobile games, but yeah, you know, they've been releasing a lot of characters for Sonic Forces Speed Battle, or they just call it Sonic Forces now on the mobile. And I remember when they released the Werehog, so they advertised it, and I think, was that the Sonic Central last year or the year before last? Sega has a tendency of releasing hype characters for the Sonic Forces mobile game instead of putting them in the real games. I mean, you could even play as Tangle and Whisper in these mobile games, so yeah. And then the next one, obviously, Sonic Frontiers DLC, we already know that. And then Movie Sonic and Sonic Speed Simulator. Now this is interesting because it's like, I don't know if Movie Sonic is already playable in the mobile games like Sonic Forces, but Movie Sonic playable in Sonic Speed Simulator, that's interesting. You know, that's a fan game that Sega made official and started promoting as an official Sonic game, so that's definitely believable. And then the next one is Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Paris 2024. Now, I've been talking about this for years too, before everyone else has, but it's like a no-brainer. We all know Sega likes to do the Olympic Games with Sonic and Mario. I know a lot of us have complained about it, but the fact is they sell a lot. You know, they sell a lot of money. So Sega's going to continue these Summer Olympic Games as long as possible, especially since they lost the rights to the Winter Olympics. That's why we haven't seen Mario and Sonic at a Winter Olympics in quite a while, but we've seen the summer ones, the most recent one being I think 2020 in Tokyo, Japan. So we're definitely going to get Paris one since they can only do these like every 4 years. But I am praying for the day we get a legit Mario and Sonic platforming crossover game. Alright, and last but not least, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie in development. Of course they're going to talk about that. The Sonic movies is what put Sonic back on the map, and also what made Sega start taking it seriously again and start reconsidering making Sonic their mascot. Yeah, it's crazy. I talked about that in one of my previous videos. So, of course they're going to talk about Sonic Movie 3. I think they've already started working on it, and we all know about the Writers Guild America strike, or the Writers Guild of America strike. Sonic Movie 3 thankfully is not affected by the writer's strike because they already wrote the script before the strike. So that's good, because if it was for the strike, yeah, the movie would definitely be delayed and we wouldn't get it until 2025. So that's it. Those are all the things that will be talked about on Sonic Central. I feel like the Sonic Central is going to be just as short as the one last year. It's not going to be as lengthy as 2 years ago. Remember, guys, 2 years ago we were starving. It was a Sonic drought. We didn't get anything during the pandemic of 2020. And Sega wanted to talk about a lot of stuff back then, but they couldn't because of the pandemic. So they just pushed everything to the Sonic Central that they promised that we would get, the year before. So we were supposed to get a digital Sonic presentation since 2020, but we waited a year. So that's the main reason why the Sonic Central was that long. And I know we were all disappointed with how short it was last year, but that's pretty much around the length of these. All right, and the next thing I want to talk about is this theory someone wrote, which is very interesting. Have the special stages in the Sonic games, especially the classic Sonic games, have they always been in cyberspace? Like, he even shows pictures of it. It's very similar when you see. So this is from Riboflavin. He says, Sonic theory idea. Special stages are actually cyberspace. Basic shape and design, I think I kind of see it. That's kind of pushing it, but yeah. Now the second one, red energy forms up top to begin teleportation. I guess, except the cyberspace is more like a glitchy effect. And then familiar locales plus trippy backgrounds, and it's true. Involved with emerald safekeeping, yep. And large ring-shaped portals. Yeah, except the cyberspace was more glitchy and looked more distorted. Next one, returning robots. Yes, special stages always have returning enemies. And then random board gameplay. Yeah, I guess. So next one, could these be the memories of the ancients? Space, galaxies, moon, stars, Earth, planets, a destroyed planet, UFOs and runaways. Remember the UFOs in Sonic CD and Sonic Mania? Ancient, foreign tech, ruined cities, etc. Floating and or angular structures, water, cyber and trippy aesthetics, and crystal formations. I never thought about that, but that makes a lot of sense. He says also, some elements feel like Sonic's mind spilling into cyberspace. Green Hill Zone, Batniks, checkerboards, colorful environments. So what he's implying is that this has been happening to Sonic since the classic days. It's not just a new thing that happened in cyberspace. So it's a theory, it's not confirmed by Sega yet, but that would make a lot of sense. I remember in the Archie comics, because in the Archie comics, they always like to over-explain things. They try to explain that the special zones was like a different dimensional world and there was a god who's like the ruler of these special stages. It's very weird. But yeah, obviously that's not canon. But this makes a lot more sense. So what do you guys think about all this? Let me know down in the comments below. Do you believe this theory about the cyberspace essentially being these special stages? And also, what do you think about the Sonic Central details? Do you think that's legit? Do you think it's partially legit? Is stuff we already know, or that is completely fake? And when do you think we're actually getting the Sonic Central this month? But alright, that's all I got for now, guys. So take care. And until next time, I'm out.